Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
पश्यतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतिं च मुं युद्धां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता
Mataji.
पश्यतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च मुं व्यूधां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता.
Okay. Mataji, can you read the translation?
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Purport also.
Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander in chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx after having learned the art from Dronacharya. Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Yes. So I hope all of you have read this first chapter. So this shloka says, O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Nothing much to say about this verse, right? Are there anything to say here? Is it very clear? Should we go to the next verse? So I have a question. So among all the 18 chapters, which is the most important chapter in the 18 chapters?
12th chapter.
12th chapter. What is the logic or guesswork?
Bhakti Yoga is.
Okay.
Should be second chapter, bro. Contents of the Gita summarized.
Okay. Okay. All of you park your answer. After first chapter, you tell me, which is according to me, first chapter is very, very important. Because what generally happens is first chapter we just move on and think that, oh, there are some names. See here, what is happening? Duryodhana is saying, Pashaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tavashishena Dhimata. So, oh teacher, behold, the sons of Pandu, they have arranged so nicely this military phalanx, and by your intelligent disciple, son of Drupada. That's all, right? So simple. But here it is not so simple. There are a lot of psychology. Arjuna's Duryodhana's psychology we can see here. Now we will try to explore. Let us try to decode what exactly this verse. So I should also become a better teacher. So today I hope that I should cover more shlokas. Now my speed has reduced. So slowly I will also improve my speed. So bear with me. So now if you see this verse, I think all of you have read it, right? So now if you see this word, what exactly is Duryodhana speaking here? Actually speaking, at the outset, as in the if you see with the bird's view, what you can see, what I can see, or what all of us can see is Duryodhana is actually speaking, he is glorifying Pandava's army. Am I right? Oh, my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Is he glorifying the army? Yes, very much. Actually, he is glorifying the army, but not from his heart, with lot of sarcasm. So till now I have explained what is Duryodhana's psychology is amazingly depicted in this first chapter. So here, this verse is spoken by Duryodhana, which is in the previous verse. It is said, Acharyam upasangamya Raja vachanam abravit. Sanjaya said, Raja vachanam abravit. Duryodhana spoke. But here, this verse doesn't start with saying Duryodhana uvacha. So this verse directly starts that it is directly Sanjaya is saying that Duryodhana started speaking this. But there is no Duryodhana uvacha here. There is only Dhritarashtra uvacha, Sanjaya uvacha, then Arjuna uvacha and Bhagavan uvacha. Only 4 people are direct speakers. So it is indirect speech here. So there is no explicit Duryodhana uvacha. That we should understand from this. Is Duryodhana glorifying the Pandavas? Yes. But the praise of the Pandavas' military formation is not coming from the genuine appreciation from the heart of Duryodhana. So this verse shows clearly that Duryodhana's inner heart, again his insecurity, his frustration. We will explore so much of frustration actually Duryodhana is going through. All that frustration we can see here. So with all the insecurity, with all the frustration, with lot of inferiority, Duryodhana is trying to speak with lot of sarcasm to Dronacharya. That is what we need to understand from this. So now, if you see this words, Acharya Mahatim Chamum. Who can say what is Chamum? Anybody remembers?
1/3 Anikini is Chamu.
Huh?
1/3 of Anikini is Chamu.
Wonderful, Mataji. Wonderful. Very nice.
Krishna.
Very alert.
Oh, no.
Very nice. Very nice. So happy to hear. Where is that? I'll just want to show you. Last time in the little calculation, here I had put 3 into Anikini just to clarify that. So here, 3 times Chamum is 1 Anikini. That means 1 Anikini is 1/3 of Chamum, and 1 Akshohini is 10 Anikinis. 10 into Anikini. Anikini into 10 times. So that means 1 Anikini is 1/10th of 1 Akshohini. 1 Akshohini is 10 times Anikini. 1 Anikini is 1/10th of 1 Akshohini. And 1 Chamu is 1/210th part of 1 Akshohini. So now, what is that? Where is that? Yeah. So here, what Duryodhana is seeing is not the entire Akshohini Sena. He is not even seeing the entire Anikini also. He is just seeing 1 Chamum, meaning 210th part of 1 Akshohini Sena. Pandavas had 7 Akshohini Sena. He is not even seeing 7 Akshohini Sena. He is saying from 7 Akshohini Sena, 1 Akshohini. From 1 Akshohini, 1/10th of Anikini. From 1/10th of Anikini, 1/3 of Anikini. What is what Duryodhana is saying? Now you will understand the value of this verse. He is saying, Acharya Mahatim Chamum. This Chamum, which is 210th part of 1 Akshohini Sena, is Mahatim. Is so great, is so massive. That is what Duryodhana is saying. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum. This Chamum itself is so Mahati, so great, so massive. and he's taken aback. Just by looking at the Pandava Sena, Duryodhana is taken aback. So now, see here, very interesting. He's saying the Pashya etam. What is Pashya? See, behold. Now, how many of you know Sanskrit? Nobody knows. No problem. All of you know Hindi, English, Kannada, basic language. So now, it's quite interesting in grammar. Whenever we speak something in a, like for example, I want to say, when I want to communicate to you about this mobile, what I say, this mobile, right? I say this. For what do I say that? We use this and that, right? This mobile is beautiful. What about that mobile? When do I say that?
When it is far off.
Yes, when it is far off, right? So in English, there is this and that. In Kannada also, idu, adu. In Hindi, what do you say? This and that.
Ye wo.
A mobile, O mobile. So something which is in, if you go little deeper, we understand whatever you can see, pratyaksha, that we say this. What is paroksha, which we can't see directly, we say that. Now you said, we say that or wo when it is far. When we go a little deeper, it is not only far, it is actually aparoksha, which you can't see. Like for example, if this mobile is behind me, what I say? Now behind me, can you see the books on the table? My background image. So I say that book. Actually, it is very close to me. Just behind me, this book table is there. But when I'm saying that book. Why? Because I can't see that. Getting the point? Now, if you read Bhagavad Gita or any Vedic scriptures, every word makes a lot of sense. Only thing is we need to be very, very alert. When we are alert, so many things gets decoded. Now here you see, interesting. You understood when we use this and that? That, idam, in Sanskrit, what do you say? Idam, tat. Right, Mukund?
Etat
Yeah.
and tat.
Etat or tat or idam or tat. We say. Now, here it is not idam or etad. Here, pashya etam. So, Sanskrit is very beautiful. I did a lot of research on this word, why the etam word is used. You know why etam word is used? What is the technical understanding for this word? See, these things can happen only in Sanskrit. Our language, English language, though, nothing we can understand. But here, etam means something very interesting. It refers something, because I see why I am speaking on this word. You will understand the value of why I am elaborating on this word. There is a logic for that. So etam refers to something so incredibly close that you can reach out and touch it. Something which is very close, we can feel it, you can touch it. That only at that time you use etam. Now, every word Arjuna is using here is very, very psychological. Now, when Duryodhana uses etam, it highlights his sheer panic. In his panic condition, he is actually speaking out, throwing out words from his mouth. So legally and numerically, his own army, which is 11 Akshohini, was vastly outnumbered the Pandava 7 Akshohini Sena. No doubt about it. Right? But a Chamu is technically a fraction of a full army, yet out of Duryodhana's mental distress, the Pandava army felt overwhelmingly close and massive. Pashyaetam. Oh, Dronacharya, just see, they are very close. I can touch them. Means so close they are. And they are not only close, they are massive. great. That is why, that is the logic behind why the word etam is used here. Pashyetam. So now let us see what how Duryodhana's insecurity and cynicism. What is cynicism? Skepticism. So Duryodhana's insecurity and cynicism you can see in every verse, every word in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter. So much you start actually laughing at Duryodhana's pathetic situation, unfortunately. So now, when the crisis of war arrived, now you are a king. Now I question to all of you, think, be alert and answer. Now you are the leader and there is a crisis. You are the leader and there is a crisis. Now you want to go and explain to somebody. To whom will you go in your team?
Leader.
Yes, Mataji, wonderful. So Duryodhana is supposed to go to the commander-in-chief to discuss anything about the war strategies or situation, crisis. But in crisis, Duryodhana is not going to the commander-in-chief who was Bhishma. He is directly going to Drona. Why? So here also we can understand that Duryodhana, he lacked complete trust in Bhishma. So instead he went to Dronacharya. He spoke very subtly so that he is conveying his message to Drona. At the same time, the Bhishma should also hear what he is speaking. So in his deep-seated malice, these words reveal his deep-rooted malice actually. Whatever was there in his heart, these words actually is showing that to people, to all of us. Now interesting, what he is saying? Pandu Putranam, the sons of Pandu. So Duryodhana, as I said last time, never genuinely accepted the Pandavas as the rightful heirs of the Kuru dynasty. So as I said, historically, Pandu died in the forest because of due to that sage's curse. So Duryodhana claimed that there is no proof that this Pandavas are coming from the Pandus lineage, and he always treated them as outsiders only. But somehow Kunti brought back, and Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Drona, they all actually supported Kunti and Pandavas. So now, by using these terms, Pandu Putranam, and now he's saying Pandu Putranam Acharya. So he's saying, you're Acharya, Drona, you're not just ours. He's indicating that you're Pashyaitam Pandu Putranam Acharya. Pandu Putranam Acharya. So you are the one of the way to understand these statements is that you are the Pandu Putranam Acharya. You are Acharya of Pandu Putras. So here, by using these kinds of terminologies, we can see that Duryodhana is dripping with sarcasm. Subtly, he is mocking Dronacharya and Bhishma for pampering and elevating these forest-born kids. So his uneasiness he is showing in every word. And then he's saying Acharya, by addressing Dronacharya as the teacher of the Pandavas, in his mind, his subconscious insecurity surfaces with these words. This implies that you are their teacher just as much as ours, but can I trust you completely in this war? Now, rather than going to the chief commander, that itself shows that he can't trust Bhishma. Now he's come to Dronacharya, again he's speaking in such a way that he doesn't trust Dronacharya also. Are you able to understand what is happening here in Duryodhana's mind and heart? Now, okay, so now he goes to Dronacharya and he says, then what? He's just not speaking what he wants. He's again triggering, agitating, trying to agitate Dronacharya by using certain words. What is he saying? Vyudam Drupada Putrena. Again he's saying Drupada Putrena. Duryodhana purposely does not call the enemy commander. Who is Drupada Putra? Drishtadyumna. And Drishtadyumna is the chief commander of Pandava army. So it is Drupada Putra or Drishtadyumna who actually made this entire arrangement, Vyudam, Chamum, everything. So, so he is purposefully, he is not calling the name Drishtadyumna directly, but he is indirectly addressing Drishtadyumna by saying Drupada Putra. Again, psychological. So again, by saying that, he's again another word he uses and tags. You know tagging. He tags Dronacharya by saying Tava Shishyena, Drupada Putrena, and Tava Shishyena. He tags. Now, whoever tags you, you get alert, right? You get that notification. So here, Dronacharya is getting notified all these points. So this was a complete calculated psychological blow to trigger Dronacharya by reminding him of two major life events. So he's trying to remind Dronacharya's two important or major life events. And that is the story of Drupada, Drona, Drishtadyumna, which is one of the most intense stories of broken friendship, humiliation, and cyclical revenge. And this story, which is a very important story of Drupada, Drona, and Drishtadyumna, it directly sets the stage for the catastrophic Kurukshetra war. This is a stage. These people, Dronacharya, Drupada story sets the stage for this massive massacre, massive combat, and that is the Kurukshetra war. I think all of you know the story of Drupada, Drona, and Drupada.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, those who do not know, I'll just quickly take you through. So it was long before. So long before. See, this Drona and Drupada were childhood friends. They both were childhood friends, and Drona, who became future royal guru of the Kauravas and Pandavas, and Drupada became the king of Panchala. And they both studied together at the ashram of sage Bharadwaja. And who was Bharadwaja Muni Rishi? He was Drona's father only. So Drupada was a prince, while Drona was a poor Brahmana boy. In the innocence of youth, now I think many of us, we have experienced this. In our childhood, some of our friends might have told, "Na, I am from a rich family, and when my father will give me 1 lakh rupees, I will get a bike." I had one of my friend. He used to just speak big things, and we used to believe. And he was from a rich family. He would tell, "My father will get me a cycle with 21 gears." At that time, gear cycle was not there, but he was saying, "This gear cycle will fly." And he will also get me the bike, and I will take you in the bike, and I'll take you to roam around. I'll take you to this hotel, that hotel. So many things he used to say, and we seriously believed, started imagining to relish and enjoy. And similarly, I think all of you had this experience, right? Some way or the other way. Either your friends have done that, or you have done to your friends. Something has happened. So here, Drupada did that to Drona. So Drupada, in his innocence, in his youth, he said, "Hey Drona, you know what? When I become king, I will give you half of the kingdom, and half of the kingdom belongs to you. Don't worry. Whenever you come to me, I will give you everything. Half of the kingdom I'll give it to you." But Drona is from a Brahmana family. He is a very truthful person. He was always truthful. He believed that everybody will be truthful. So he took it very seriously and kept it in his heart. And as years passed, Drupada ascended to the throne of Panchala. He became the king of Panchala. And Drona lived a life of extreme poverty. And he was married and he got a small son who was Ashwatthama was born, very small baby. He literally did not have anything to even fetch some milk for his son, small young boy, Ashwatthama. Then suddenly Drona remembers, Arey, why am I suffering like this? I have a friend. Drupada is a king. If I go there, he's not only going to give me some milk, he is going to give me half of the kingdom I can enjoy, and my entire poverty is taken care. So then he goes to Drupada and he meets him and he says, Drupada, my dear friend. And when he meets him, Drupada shows his arrogance or attitude. He says, what? Do you remember? Yeah, I remember you. So what? Now you remember that during our youth, you had promised that you'll give me the half of the kingdom. Now I am in need. So please give me half of the kingdom. So you know what Drupada says? Drupada says, Sangatani hi jiryante maitrani daninam danaihi samohi mitram bhavati na samaha sakyamarhati. I will tell you word by word, you will understand very easy. Sangatani, Sangha means, friendship. Sangatani hi jiryante. Jirya word comes from jara, which means decays. This friendship or relationship Sangha decays, gets exhausted slowly. Which Sangha? Maitrani. That is Mitratva, our friendship. It decays. When? Daninam danaihi. When a person keeps getting wealth, when the wealth changes, the friendship also gets decayed. Samohi mitram bhavati. You can make friendship only with people who are sama, equal. Na samaha. Sakyam arhati. So beautiful verse. He says, the friendship of wealthy men decay as their wealth changes. True friendship exists only between equals. One who is unequal is not fit for friendship. So that is what Drupada is saying. So friendship can only exist between equals. A king cannot be friends with a beggar. He humiliates Drona. Drupada threw Drona out of his court with a few meager alms. Just he gives little bit and just throws him away. This deeply humiliates Drona. And from that time onwards, Drona takes a vow that to take revenge against this Drupada, and he decides that Brahmin's wrath could shatter king's pride. I will make sure that his pride gets shattered. That is the oath he takes. Now Drona is waiting for the opportunity to smash the ego, smash the pride of Drupada. And fortunately or luckily, he gets a job offer in Hastinapur as a preceptor, royal preceptor, or you can call Acharya to the Pandavas and Kaurava princes. And he goes with great happiness and he trains the Kauravas and Pandavas very nicely. And after the training, so Pandavas and Kauravas, they go and ask Drona that, oh Acharya, we want to give you some dakshina. Please ask what you want. As they were princes, they had the courage and audacity to say that, yes, I am ready to give anything. We are ready to give anything. Ask how much you want. What do you want? And Drona says, my dear lovely students, I don't need any fees from you. But instead, I have something for all of you. And first he says, Kauravas, Duryodhana and team. So you go and fight against this Drupada, get Drupada bound in front of me. And Kauravas, led by Duryodhana, they try to fight, but they miserably fail. And Duryodhana takes the help of Karna also. So they miserably, Duryodhana, Karna, they could not win Drupada, and they miserably fail, and they come back. So then the Drona asks Arjuna and team, Pandavas team, you go and fight Drupada and come back. And Arjuna goes to the Panchala, systematically invades Drupada's forces, and Arjuna brings Drona bound, and he gets Drupada, sorry, not Drona, Drupada. He gets Drupada and puts him in front of Drona's feet. He says, Gurudev, Acharya, your command, your desire is my command. So now please accept this offering. So now Drona, this is the situation he was dreaming to have in his life. This was one of his main agenda or main goal of his life, to take revenge against this Drupada. So Drona smiles and says to Drupada, "Oh Drupada, do you remember? You said Samohi mitram bhavati, na samaha sakyam arhati. You can have friendship only with equals, not with anybody else, right? Now the entire Panchala belongs to me. But I am not a crooked person like you. Now you promised me half the kingdom. You didn't give me, but now I will give you half of the kingdom." So Drona, he takes entire kingdom from him and he gives half back to Drupada. So now Dronacharya says, Samoham bhavati mitratva. Now we both are same, right? Equal. Now can we become friends? He gives the proposal offer. So Drona takes the northern half of Panchala and he left the southern half for Drupada. And while Drona considered the matter is settled, but Drupada was consumed by a burning desire for vengeance, further revenge. That's why I call it as cyclic revenge. So now Drona took the revenge and the matter is solved. But now Drupada is humiliated. Now Drupada is waiting for chance to destroy Drona's ego and pride. So this further leads to the birth of Drishtadimna. So Drupada knew that no ordinary person or warrior could defeat Drona, who possessed divine weapons and invincibility. What is invincibility? Strength, power. So he wandered. Drupada wandered. He took break. What is that? There is a long leave you take from the company. Sabbatical, something they say. What is that?
Sabbatical.
Sabbatical. So he took that sabbatical leave for a long time. He wandered everywhere and he found two great sages. That is Yaja and Upayaja. So Yaja and Upayaja, he requested them to perform highly potent dark fire sacrifice, Yagya. And they obliged and they performed this very powerful Yagya. And from that Yagya came two divine siblings emerged out of the Yagya. And these two were Drishtadimna and Draupadi. So Drishtadimna was a magnificent warrior born with armor and a crown, holding a sword and a bow, and a celestial voice also echoed. The celestial echo was, "This prince has been born to slay Drona." Can you imagine what kind of mindset? These people had so much power, but they are caught up with their own ego. Now, very easy for us to say that they're caught up with their ego, they're doing all this drama. But in our life, we are not able to do that kind of drama because we are stuck with our own senses and mind. At least these people are out of their senses and mind. They had higher control, higher power. They could perform yagyas. They could perform. They could have darshan of divine people. So Drona, the Drishtadyumna and Draupadi, they were not born out of born in a biological way. They never got stuck with the fluid inside the womb. They never got through this process where not ordinary human beings were born. They were divine. So that was the power they had. Yes, whenever we read, we understand this. When we read this, hear these stories, we may laugh at this situation. But our situation is much worse. That also we should understand. But anyway, so we should understand that these people are very special, like Drishtadyumna and Draupadi. She was a breathtakingly beautiful, unparalleled. Her beauty was unparalleled, and she was born to bring about the destruction of arrogant Kauravas. So now, the ultimate end. So what was that? Now he's saying, Tava Shishyena Dhimata. He's saying, Tava Shishya, this Drishtadyumna is not ordinary person, he is Dhimata. But who are you? Indirectly saying, you foolish Dronacharya, you are actually fool. But your disciple, he is very intelligent. Why is he saying all these things? Because, ironically, knowing the prophecy, Drupada sent Drishtadyumna to Drona himself to learn the advanced arts of warfare. And Drona, he knew very well that this Drishtadyumna is going to be the cause for my death, but still, adhering strictly to his duty as a teacher, he did not discriminate. He accepted Drishtadyumna as a student and taught him all the secrets of the absolute higher tier of archery. And he was fully aware that this very boy was destined to kill him. So Duryodhana is saying indirectly that Duryodhana, in the name of some principles, you shouldn't have trained your enemy. Oh person, Acharya, use your intelligence also. Your student is very intelligent. But now anyway, you have trained your enemy, and just now your enemy has got you into trouble. At least now don't repeat the mistake. Don't give up the safety in the name of some sentimentality. So Duryodhana is not about to see. Now, when we heard the story of Drona, we thought it is very noble. Such a noble thing that he knew that this person is going to be the cause of his death. Still, he went out of the way to teach. What a noble person Drona is. But Duryodhana is not at all seeing that virtue. He is not at all considering that virtue in Drona. Rather, he is saying that safety first. If that person is going to kill you, which you already knew, why have you taught him? It is just like finding a sore spot in a person and rubbing with a pinch of salt on the wound. What happens? It triggers. He's trying to trigger Drona that you have done mistake from the beginning by accepting Pandavas in the Hastinapur. You supported Kunti and Pandavas. Now after that you trained Drishtadyumna. Now Drishtadyumna has excelled in his career and he has formed such a beautiful Mahatim Chamum, and I am getting distracted, and all these things indirectly saying you are one of the main causes for that. Are you able to understand? So by saying all these things, he is trying to put that pinch of salt on the sore wound. It pains further. So Duryodhana is trying to make sure that Drona should not have any soft corner for Pandavas in the war. That is the point. Now, but all these things we understand what kind of psychological trauma or turmoil Duryodhana is going through. It's amazing. So Duryodhana's mental conflict, his anxiety, everything is becoming evident in his doubt. So is every word, every sentence he's speaking, is creating, is becoming evident that he is doubtful, he is in anxiety. So his questions are, will he achieve victory in the task he has undertaken, Dronacharya? Will those people who trusted betray him? The anxiety and fear of losing in front of everyone. And we are witnessing these conflicts depicting Duryodhana's personality in this primary stage. Now, why am I saying all these things? Why this? There is so much of doubt, turmoil. Now, another interesting thing in this slokas. Now you see in the next few verses, another amazing thing. All of you read this fourth verse, fifth house. Did you find something interesting in these verses? Till now, I have spoken. Last session, if you have heard last session very attentively and understood, you might have seen something very interesting in the next few verses. That is 4, 5, 6, 7. Anybody noticed anything very, very special?
They're comparing Bhima and Arjuna.
That's okay. That is there. That we will discuss.
Duryodhana's fear.
That is, yes, I am explaining that every word of Duryodhana is actually showing, depicting. It is very evident. His fear is very evident. Something interesting you saw in verse 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll give you 2 minutes. Quickly read the translation. And if you find anything interesting, let me know. Take 2 minutes. Read 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 verses.
6, 7, 8. Okay. It's not it.
You have the book in with you, or should I show? Yeah, you can read the fourth.
Was very important. And there were many others who were
Slowly in your mind. Now fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. Anyway, ninth is not required, eighth is sufficient. Yes, Jyoti Mataji has got it. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ah.
He take names from various warriors of his army, so that he takes everybody's name so that everybody is pleased with him and nobody takes side of Pandavas during the war. He's kind of trying to massage ego of everybody who is on his side of the.
Okay. Something more special?
There's a comparison between his army and Pandava's army.
That we
There's a
know.
comparison.
That is very clear, evident.
compared.
Okay. Now I will tell you something interesting. Now let us count how many people Duryodhana is mentioning the names. Very interesting. Now you see Atrashura, Maheshwasa, Bhima, Arjuna, Samayudhi. Now Bhima, Arjuna, he is saying like them. Now actually the count starts. Yuyudhana, Virata, Viratascha, Dripadascha, Maharatha. These three people are Maharathas. We will explain that. Now I'm just giving you some very interesting thing. In the fifth verse, Drishtaketu, Chakitanaha, Kashirashascha, Viryavan, Purujit, Kuntibojascha, Shaibyascha, Narapungavaha, Yudamanyuscha, Vikranta, Uttamaujascha, Viryavan. So Uttamaujascha. So totally 11 people he is saying. You want to count once again?
Yes, Lord.
Yuyudhano, Viratascha, Dripadascha, Maharataha. In the fifth verse, Drishtaketu, Chekitanaha, Kashirajascha Viryavan, Purujit Kuntibojascha Shaibhyascha, Shaibhya 8.
Hmm.
Then Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttamaujascha Viryavan.
Hmm.
Okay, Saubhadra Draupadayascha, they were not leaders. So here 11 people, 11 leaders' names he takes. Now, next verse. Now he is saying about his army. Asmakam tu Vishishtaye, 11 leaders from Pandava's side. He is saying. Now in the 7th verse. Asmakam tu Vishishtaye tan niboda dvijottama nayakaha mama sainyasya samgyartam. Now I am going to tell you. Who are they? Bhavan. Bhavan.
You.
That means you, Dronacharya. Mataji, mute.
Yes, sir.
So Bhavan, then Bhishmascha, Karnascha, Kripascha, Samitinjaya, Ashwatthama, Vikarnascha, Saumadattis, Tataivacha. He is saying 7 people. Now you see, Pandavas had 7 Akshohini Sena. Kauravas had 11 Akshohini Sena. But he is saying, he is naming 11 leaders from Pandava's side and 7 leaders from his side. Totally 18. This is Mahabharata. This is a numerology of Mahabharata. This is a psychology of Mahabharata. So you cannot get out of 18 anywhere. Anywhere you come, finally it comes to this. Very interesting. So yeah. So here in reality, 11 commanders were for the 11 Akshavini Sena on the side. But here he is specifically mentioning 11 people from Pandava's side. So behind every individual. Now why he is naming all these great leaders? Now what generally, how we study is, oh Prabhu, there are names, so many names, Prabhu. Right? That is what we have read, right? There are so many names of the kings. There is comparison. A first chapter is done. No, there is on every name what Duryodhana is mentioning, there is a deep psychology behind it. When we understand that, that is what we understand Bhagavad Gita. What is happening in Bhagavad Gita, we will understand only when we understand these things. Why these names are taken. Because the background stories for all these names, they were, that actually says what is Bhagavad Gita all about. Now, he feels the pain in every line, which we are discussing, how, how Duryodhana is mentioning all this. 11 leaders' names from Pandavas and 7 names from Kauravas. So, now he is saying that this verse, Pashyatam, now you understood, Pashyatam Panduputranam Acharya, Mahatim Chamum, Vyudam Drupada Putrena. This Chamum and Vyuda, this Vyuda and Chamum, Vyuda, I think you all understood last time I discussed in detail. Vyuda comes from the word Vyuha. And Chamum. Chamum also you understood. So just by looking at Chamum, he is taken aback. Duryodhana is taken aback and psychologically is afflicted. His consciousness is afflicted, his mind is afflicted, and with that afflicted nature, he is speaking so many things. And without his knowledge, he has taken out 11 interesting names from Pandava's side and 7 from his side. It's all matter of psychology. Indirectly, Krishna is speaking through him, and this also is a sign of victory for Pandavas. Now, even though his Akshoini Sena outnumbered Pandavas, but psychologically he is thinking that Pandava Sena is more powerful than Kaurava Sena. All these things will get more clarified in the next verses. So we'll read the next verse. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yudhano Viratascha Dripadascha Maharataha. One Prabhuji and one Mataji.
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः.
Anirudh Prabhu, you can read translation and purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada. Purport. Even though Drushtadhyumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were causes of fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana as a great stumbling blocks on the path of victory because each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna and thus he compared the others with them.
Interesting. Here, again, is Duryodhana glorifying Pandavas? He's saying, Atra Shura Maheshwasa, Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi, Yudhano, Viratascha, Drupadascha Maharataha. He's glorifying everyone and he knew the prowess of Bhima Arjuna and he's comparing everyone to Bhima Arjuna. What is happening here? Just try to understand, go a little deeper in this verse. Again, is he glorifying Pandavas? Yes, but not from his heart. But he's speaking yes and no both. He's speaking a lot of reality also. But this reality is coming from where? Again, it is coming from his psychology. Now, why is he comparing everyone with Bhima and Arjuna? In the future, I will tell you, Duryodhana himself, as in the Mahabharata, he has told something great about Bhima. And he says no one can equal Bhima and Arjuna in their power. But now he is saying everybody are equal to Bhima and Arjuna. So now another very interesting thing for us to understand from this incident is that when you love someone, there is chance that you can forget. Right? If you love someone, there is all possibility that we may forget sometime. But when you hate and when you want to take revenge about someone, you will never forget. The famous example is our Kamsa. And our Kamsa he just hated Krishna. He just wanted to kill Krishna. He was Krishna's deadliest enemy because he considered himself as the deadliest enemy to Krishna. He saw Krishna everywhere. He saw Krishna in not only everywhere, sometimes he saw his own image in the mirror. In that image, he saw Krishna. He saw Krishna in himself. So the point here is Duryodhana has become Pandava consciousness or Bhimarjuna conscious. He is so Bhimarjuna conscious that he is comparing everyone to Pandavas. He is comparing everyone to Bhimarjuna. So you'll understand as we pass through these verses, you'll understand all this psychology. Now I will stop here about this part. Now we'll get into the verse proper. Atra, here, Shuraha, heroes. Who are they? Maheshwasa. What is Maheshwasa? Maheshwasa means it is a compound word.
Mighty woman.
It says
Mighty woman. Heroic woman.
there are three words in that: Maha, Ishu, and Asa. Maha means it comes from Mahat, great, mighty. Ishu means arrow, and As. Manaji, you should always keep mute. Whenever you want to talk, only you should unmute. Asaha means from a root related to wielding or shooting, forming the term of an archer. So basically, they are so powerful. Mighty board means what? They had a powerful arrow and powerful asu where they used to keep all those things and they would generate this bows, arrows. So they had this powerful bow and arrow. That is why they are called Maheshwasas, not just ordinary people. Maheshwasa. They had Maha, Ishu, and Asa. So here are heroic warriors, mighty bowmen, equal to Bhima and Arjuna. So here, point to note is one more point we may miss out in this. It is not just Arjuna was the powerful archer. Even Bhima was also a powerful archer. Here Duryodhana is very clearly mentioning Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi. He is not saying Bhima is Gada, Gadashwasa or something like that. He is saying Maheshwasa, bow and arrow. And Bhima was also an archer. It is said in Mahabharata. But Bhima never showed it. There was no need for it. So he didn't show. Many times, sometimes it is not that whatever we have to show it. Right? Now, for example, I want to just, can you see this? So this is a small thing. If I want to lift this, simple, na? I can put this much effort. But if I want to lift this, if I start putting so much of effort, is it required? Not required. So similarly, Bhima, he was so powerful. He was a powerful archer. If he wanted, he could have showed his skills in the archery, but there was no need which arose. So he just took care of other things, and he allowed Arjuna and other people to do that. But here it is considered Bhima was also a Maheshwasa. He was also a powerful archer. That point we should note. Then he says Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi. Everybody are also equal to. Why he is saying that, you understood? It is he is now Pandava Bhima Arjuna conscious. Now he's now three names come here. Yudano, Viratascha, Drupadascha. Who are they? These three people are called as Maharataha. So now, very interestingly, Duryodhana uses Maharataha, Viryavan, all so many things. We will see why, what is the science behind it. So here he's saying these three people, Yudana, Virata, and Drupada, they are Maharataha. So who is a Maharatha? A Maharatha is a warrior capable of fighting many powerful warriors simultaneously and possessing mastery over various weapons, strategies, courage, and battlefield. So Yudana, Maharatha means they are powerful chariot fighter. And Yudana is the personal name of the warrior and more commonly is known as Satyaki. Satyaki is also known as Yudana. Who is Satyaki? So now little bit history we should go to understand this. Who is Satyaki? Satyaki, he belonged to Yadava clan, the same clan as Krishna. He was the grandson of Shini. That's why he is often called as Shaineya, descendant of Shini. He is a son of Satyaka, so he is called as Satyaki. He was a devoted supporter of Krishna, and he was also a disciple of Arjuna in the science of archery. He learnt archery from Arjuna, so he was a sincere student of Arjuna. And he fought very interestingly, very nicely in Kurukshetra war. So now here Yudana is a Maharatha, Virata is a Maharatha, and Drupada is a Maharatha. So after that he speaks about two very senior figures on the Pandavas side, who were contemporaries of Bhishma and Drona. Who are they? They are Virata and Drupada. So does Maharatha mean they possess giant Maharatha, big Ratha? What is understanding? No. It doesn't mean that these people had a very big, massive chariot. It means they are the greatest among the chariot warriors. They are the finest among those who can sit in a chariot and fight. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that a Maharatha means a person who can fight 10,000 warriors alone, single-handedly. Now, if somebody has a capacity to fight 9,999 warriors, will he not be called as Maharatha? So we should not use our logic like that. It is basically not the exact, the number is not so important here. The understanding is important. The science behind that number is important. When Acharyas say that this Maharatha means he is so powerful that he can fight 10,000 warriors, means he has got so much power. Meaning what? he can sit inside the chariot or stand inside the chariot. He can fight 10,000 warriors. He can take care of himself. He can take care of the chariot. He can take care of the chariot drivers. He can take care of the two people who are behind the chariot to take care of the chariot. So that means he had that much power. He was so alert. He was so skilled that alone, single-handedly, he could take care of. That is why he is the greatest of the warrior. Maharatha, Maharathi. That is the meaning here. That is the main point. So there are charioteers who manage the horses also. He has to take care of horses also. Everything. They are called. So there are two people who take care of the wheels. If wheel gets punctured or something happens, the axle gets cut. Right? So then they are called Chakra Rakshakas. So he has to take care of the chariot driver. Then he has to take care of two people who manage the chariot, two people who take care of manage the wheels, and he has to fight 10,000 warriors. Very difficult, right? For us, when we drive a vehicle, accelerator, gear, steering, three things only to take care, it becomes so difficult. And to have to manage the Bangalore traffic. I always tell people, there are so many people from all around the world. They come to Bangalore for their bread and butter. Right? But they get jam free, traffic jam free. So now, if you look at it superficially, what will they understand? That is not what a Maharatha is. A Maharatha is basically one person single-handedly can fight 10,000 warriors, protect himself, protect chariot wheels, protect charioteer, and the horses. So he is called as Maharatha. Now the three individuals, Yudhana is a Maharatha, recognized as foremost among the best who can sit and fight in a chariot. So are Virata and Drupada. Now Virata, he joined the Pandavas for several reasons. Why Virata joined? There was political reason, personal reason, and moral reason. So many reasons. So now, what is so great about Virata? Virata, so during the years of exile, Pandavas, when they were in the 13th year, incognito. All of you know about this story. 13th year, they were supposed to be in incognito. So the Pandavas stayed in the kingdom of Matsya, ruled by Virata. So there, all the Pandavas and Draupadi, they served in that Virata kingdom, incognito. And when the kingdom was attacked by the Kauravas, Arjuna, disguised as Brihannala, he took up his weapons and he defeated all the warriors, including Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and others. And he recovered Virata's kingdom and gave back to Virata. He protected the kingdom. He protected the humiliation of Virata also. So Virata became deeply grateful to the Pandavas, and that because of that connection, Virata's daughter Uttara was given to Abhimanyu, who was Arjuna and Subhadra's son. So there became the relationship also, and this made Virata the father-in-law of Abhimanyu and grandfather of Parikshit. That Uttara, the son of the wife of Abhimanyu, gave birth to Parikshit. So Virata recognized that the Pandavas had fulfilled the conditions of exile. The Kauravas were refusing to return their rightful kingdom. The Pandavas, they were in much need. So many kings chose sides based on the political interests. But Virata also believed the Pandavas had been wronged, so he joined them. And political strategy, yes. So the Matsya kingdom bordered regions allied with the Pandavas. Supporting them strengthened Virata's position and connected him with powerful allies such as Krishna, Drupada, the Panchalas. So for him to join, he also had his own personal agenda because the entire Matsya kingdom was bordering. So if he takes support of Pandavas, his kingdom will also be taken care. So this is about Virata. Now what about Drupada? So Drupada joined Pandavas again for so many reasons. Number one, Drona, we just heard that Drona had humiliated him and he sought revenge against Drona. Drishtadyumna's destiny was tied to the Pandavas' cause. The Pandavas and Drupada shared common enemies. Drupada became the wife of the Draupadi became the wife of the Pandavas. So Drupada became father-in-law to the Pandavas. If all this had not happened, Drupada would have joined Kauravas. One of the reasons, one of the acharyas mentioned that he had some connection to Jarasandha also. So after Jarasandha was died, there was all possibilities that Drupada could have come to the Kauravas side. So Duryodhana is grieving over all of this. Behind these names lies the pain of his entire life. That is why he's picking and choosing the names of all these leaders. That is why it is not actually, that is why I always say last time also, it was not Arjuna Vishada. Actually, it is Duryodhana's Vishada. Definitely, it is not yoga because he's not getting connected to Krishna. So, this is the thing we need to, exquisite meaning, psychological meaning we need to understand. When we understand these things, it becomes easy for us to understand what is happening. The tone of Bhagavad Gita, it becomes easy. Now we'll see the next verse. Drishtaketuscha Kitanaha Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Now one Mataji and then one Prabhuji.
दृष्टकेतुश्च चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः.
दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरोजित कुन्तिभोजश्च शैवश्च नरपुङ्गवः.
Yeah. So others also should read. One person don't have to repeat next time. So other devotees also can read next time onwards. Prabhu, translation?
There are also great heroic, powerful fighter like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kasiraja, Purojit, Kunti and Saiva.
Yes. So now moving forward, here he is saying now Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada, he said they are all. What is the adjective he used? Maharataha. Now he is saying Drishtaketush, Chakitanaha, Kashirajascha Viryavan. Now again three people's name is taking. Who are these three people? These three people, what is the adjective he is using?
Viryavan.
So Viryavan, powerful, valiant. So he is applying Viryavan to all these three people. Viryavan Drishtaketu, Viryavan Chakitanaha, Viryavan Kashirajaha. So now in the next verses, he uses for some people Narapungavaha, and for some he says Vikranta. Again he uses Viryavan. Again he uses Maharataha. Some adjectives gets repeated, but there is a logic for that also. Now we'll see Maharata appears twice. We have understood that single adjective. Now he is using Viryavan and Purujit Kunti Bojascha Shaibhyascha. Purujit, Kunti Boja and Shaibhya, they are Narapungavaha. Drishtaketu Chakitana Kashira, they are Viryavan. Interesting. So these are the adjectives used for the heroes mentioned here. So now let us see why does he uses Viryavan? What is Viryavan? What is Vikranta? What is all these things? We will see. Now there is a difference between Viryavan and Shauryavan. Who would like to answer? What is Viryavan? Because many things, everything appears same only, right? If you read the translation, powerful, heroic, powerful warriors, that is what we hear. But is there any meaning? What is Virya and what is Shaurya? Anybody want to answer? Try guessing.
Virya is powerful, Shaurya is brave. No.
Shaurya is like Viryavan plus intelligent both.
Ware wah. New definition. Good. But that is not the right answer. See, that is what there is so much actually when you understand, when you go word by word, so you can dive deeper and deeper and deeper. So many meanings, and we can understand. Only thing is we should have that eagerness to dive deeper. Anyone
What's the
last chance?
difference?
Anybody want to try? What is the
Yeah,
meaning?
health
Yes.
plus wealth plus fame. We can say Swaregan and
You are going much deeper. Okay. So now the difference between Virya and Shaurya. So Virya is the power or potency or strength, basically. A person who has got is very powerful, has got a lot of strength. He is called Viryavan. Viryavan. Now, Virya, what is Virya? You know Virya? Virya refers to the internal hormone or energy a man possesses. Virya is the semen is also called Virya. Now you try to understand why semen is called Virya. Because the semen of that semen has so much power, inner strength that it can give birth to another life. The inner strength of semen is that is why it's powerful, so it is called Virya. So Virya is inner strength. That is Virya. A man who possesses that power, strength is called Viryavan. Now, the expressive power to demonstrate that internal energy is Virya, while the valor displayed externally is Shaurya. Shaurya means the power you have inside, you should know how to express it. You have power, but you're not expressing it. You're just like this. You are called Buddhu, not Shauryavan. If you are Shauryavan, that is what the person who walks, he is called Shura. Shura means he knows how to is expressive. What he expresses his virya, his strength. Just having strength is not sufficient. That is why most of the time these kings would love fights. If somebody invites them for fight, they would happily go because they have to showcase their prowess. When they showcase, then they are called Shuras. Otherwise, just you have so much of power, you're not showing it. You're not placing it. You're not expressing it. Then what is the value of that? Then you're a Viryavan, but you're not Shauryavan. You're not a Shura. That is understanding. So here, the words Vikranta, Narapungava, it has got an outward dimension. Now this Viryavan is internal strength, and Vikranta and Narapungava, it has got an outward dimension. So what is Vikranta? So here Vikranta means that the heroism, this means heroism filling him from within is evident just by looking at him. These are all very small, minute details. These things will not come in exam. Just for your understanding, I'm just saying. So Vikranta means just by looking at the person, you understand. What is this? This person? He is the powerful person. That is Vikranta. Even before he fights, you know that this person is going to be really powerful. Yeah, these are all like, and Shaurya is what is demonstrated in the battle. And Vikranta is just by looking at the person, you'll understand what is his power. So, all these are like subtle shades of meaning. Yeah. Now, we will come to Narapungavaha. Very interesting. What is Narapungavaha? Narapungava means this person is like, Pungava means bull. So this person is like a bull-like man. A bull-like man. Now, if you try to analyze this, in the ancient times, especially in the scriptures, whenever people want to glorify someone, they glorify the person using connecting to three animals, special animals. You know who are they? One is this bull, Narapungava or Bharatarshava. Vrishabha is a bull. Bharatarshava. In the future verses, it will Arjuna. They're identified using these names. Vrishabha, Pungava means bull. Purusha Vyagra is a tiger-like person. Purusha Simha, lion-like man. You have heard these things, right? Lion-like man. So these three animals are basically used to compare for comparison. A man like a tiger, a man like a lion, and man like a bull. What does this mean? Isn't it insulting to speak this way? We say you should be better than human being, but here great people are compared to animals. Sorry, we should be better than animals. Humans are we should be better than animals, right? But here humans are compared to these animals. Isn't it an insult to human beings?
They're ferocious. Ferociousness.
Yeah, they are ferocious.
That is comparing.
That's what I'm asking. Why human beings are compared to animals? Animals are lower than us. Why that comparison?
But in fight,
in terms of power, they are more powerful than men. So maybe this is the reason.
Yeah, so these animals actually signify strength, power. So that is why not only men, human beings are compared. When compared to these animals, actually it is a glorification. But have you noticed anybody saying this lion is like a man? This lion is like this man. So if you say lion is like a man, it ruins the dignity of lion. Lion's dignity is lost. It is an insult to the nature. So we don't say this bull is like this man, human being. No, we don't compare that. But saying a man is like a tiger, it's a matter of pride for a man. But if animal is compared to a man, it is not pride, it is actually losing their dignity. Unfortunately, that is the situation now. So this means we must pay attention to what quality they observe. Comparing a man to bull, what is common in all these three animals? That is the strength. That is the strongest animals in the forest. So that is why they are compared to human beings. Yeah. So the lion, the tiger, the bull are the symbols of power and masculinity. So therefore, Narapungava means a man of excellent masculine strength. Purusha means power. Purusha means strength. So when describing someone as extremely powerful, so then the difference between Viryavan and Narapungava is that you must observe that this is the differences. Narapungava means, Viryavan means a person who has got strength. Narapungava means a person who is like this Pungava. Yeah, and another interesting meaning for Vikranta. What is Vikranta? Vikranta comes from the word Vikrama. So Krama means what? Krama means a system. Now, whenever there is a fight, there is a system to fight. There is a system to penetrate the army's force, and there is a system to fight. A Vikranta, whenever the word V is used to any word, it becomes Vishesha Rupena Vikrama. So a Vikranta is one, he knows he knows unique ways to enter the army and fight that army. So he is very special in attacking and fighting against the enemies. That's why he is called Vikranta. He is a Parakrami. Again, as I said, there are different shades of meaning for all these words. So, yeah, Vikranta, Viryavan. So now in simple terms, so I'll put here. In simple terms, we can say Vikranta describes how he fights. Viryavan describes his inherent power. Narampongava describes his status among people. So he is using different adjectives for different in a different way. Yeah, but if you read if you read just any other Bhagavad Gita translations also, everywhere it is written powerful, powerful, powerful. For Virata, it is Vikranta, it is powerful. Dushtaketu, it is powerful. So, but there are this kind of shades of meaning, very sensitive meanings to all these things. Now, there is Dushtaketu, Chekitanaha, Kashirajascha, Viryavan. So, who is Dushtaketu? Now, we have to see at Duryodhana's agony. So, there were massive legendary heroes on the Pandavas side. The individuals he mentions are specifically those whose presence caused him deep distress. Why he is using all these names? These names is actually the reason for his agony also. So here, Shishupala's son was not necessarily renowned worldwide as an extraordinary warrior at that time. But the catch was that Dushtaketu is Shishupala's son. Shishupala was supposed to be on Duryodhana's side. We all know the story. If Shishupala was alive today, he would have joined Duryodhana along with his entire army. Now Duryodhana had gone to great lengths to keep him on his side, to keep him on his side, and he wanted to give his daughter in marriage, but that did not work out. And this is just like Jarasandha giving his daughter to Kamsa to subdue enemies. So Shishupala tried to get his daughter married to Yudhishthir, but that did not happen. So many things he tried, but nothing happened. So he was unable to tolerate this during the Rajasuya sacrifice. That when Shishupala fought against Krishna and he was killed by Krishna. So when Shishupala was killed in Dharmaraja's royal assembly, then again Pandavas did not accept his daughter. So many things happened, and Shishupala was killed by Krishna, and Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Now Dushtaketu is also joined Pandavas' side. Now Duryodhana is thinking, Dushtaketu is Shishupala's son. He should have joined Duryodhana's side, my side. But why did he join the other side? How can a son really join the party who killed his own father? So what kind of justice is this? Isn't this a matter of great anguish for Duryodhana? So what is the use of simply chanting Dushtaketu, Dushtaketu, Chekitana, Chekitana, when we don't understand all this inner pain what Duryodhana is going on? So why is mentioning all these names? We should understand the logic behind that. Otherwise, we'll just read Dushtaketu, Chekitana, but we don't understand the real meaning. So now you understood the meaning why Dushtaketu, Chekitana. Now Chekitana without Kashirajascha, Viryavan, a powerful warrior. The Bhagavad Gita is filled with these three people. So so from the Yadavas also joined the Pandavas. So now from the Yadava clan, Balarama comes. And who was Balarama? Balarama was Duryodhana's guru. And Duryodhana had planned that he will take Balarama in his side. If Balaram comes to his side, then entire Yadavas will turn to Balaram. Because Krishna had told that I'm not going to fight. So Yadavas will be dependent on Balaram, and if Balaram comes to Duryodhana's side, all the Yadavas will come to Kauravas. But what happened? Balarama said, I'm not going to fight, I'm going to Tirtha Yatra. He left. So because of that, Yadava clan, now everybody came to, now who is Chekitana? Chekitana is a Vrishni, Yadava warrior, a member of same broader clan as Krishna, one of Krishna's loyal supporters. So thus he represents the Yadava contingent that fought alongside with the Pandavas. Now all the distinct Narayani Sena joined Duryodhana, but there were these two or three Yadava clans who were left. They joined Pandavas. Now who is Kashi Raja? The third one is very peculiar. Now again, Kashi Rajascha Viryavan. Who is Kashi Raja? Again, there is a story about him. Who is he? Actually, in the history, we find two Kashi Rajas. In the region of Kashi, there are two streams that merged and divided Kashi into two sections. This stream, water stream, and one stream was called Varana and other stream was called Asi. So this Varana and Asi later became Varanasi. That is a history. So facing the direction of Varana and Asi, it was Varanasi. Now those two rivers form the entire city. So earlier one king ruled Varana and another king ruled Asi. So beyond one river of Varanasi was one kingdom and on the other side was another kingdom, both on the rivers. At one time the whole region was called as Kingdom of Kashi. So that is one of the Kashi Raja. So what needs to be noted is that Duryodhana's wife was also the daughter of Kashi Raja. So Duryodhana's wife. And Bhima beside Draupadi had another wife called Kali, who was the daughter of Kashi Raja. So now Duryodhana's father-in-law was also Kashi Raja. Bhima's father-in-law was also Kashi Raja. So between these two Kashi Rajas, which Kashi Raja in this verse, we don't know exactly. If you go back, try to trace the history, very difficult to find which Kashi Raja. But if you put with little bit logic, we can understand most likely it is not the Kaurava's father-in-law Kashi Raja. It is Bhima's father-in-law Kashi Raja. Now Duryodhana is remembering that Kashi Raja because he was killed. His father-in-law Kashi Raja was killed. But now Bhima's father-in-law Kashi Raja, if he was this Kashi Raja, but still Duryodhana is again thinking that if his father-in-law Kashi Raja was there, he would have taken part in his side. Again, by choosing all these names, what we can see is only Duryodhana's agony, Duryodhana's distress. Purujit Kuntibojascha Shaibyascha Narapungavaha. So here again Purujit, Kuntiboja, Shaibya. Again three names are given. Purujit, Kuntiboja and Shaibya. So now Kauravas, and now to understand all these things, so many names are coming. So I will tell you what is this exactly, because you might also get confused. What is this Yadavas, Kurus, Kashi Raja? So many things, names are coming up. How to understand this? Last time I had explained you some things. Now I will give you, I'll put this image. This is the image itself. So here you can see this. Can you read this? I had told you the story of Yayati. From Yayati came Yadu, Turvasu, Puru, like so many people. So from Yayati, there are different clans. Yadu came Yadavas. And Krishna comes in this Yadu part, Yadavas. And Kauravas are coming from Puru, Pauravas, and then Kuru, then Kauravas. Hope you remember. I'm not going to go in detail, just for your information. Don't get confused. Whenever I say Yadavas, it is coming from Yayati only. But Yayati, Yadu dynasty, then Puru dynasty or Kuru dynasty. And Turvasu is there, that we are not at all discussing because there are no prominent kings from that clan, that lineage. But the main person, how Yadavas, they were all related because they are all uncles only. Krishna and Arjuna, Pandavas, Kauravas, they were all related because they are all Dodappa, Chikkappa, uncles' children only. That is the point. So Yadava lineage, Yadava Vamsha, the royal dynasty descends from Yadu, the eldest of son of Yayati. I told you, Yayati had three sons, and he wanted to exchange his old age with one of the son, and elder son Yadu did not agree. Finally, Puru agreed. That is why he gave the entire dynasty to Puru. That's why they became very prominent, and Yadu became a very small king. So it is one of the most important dynasties in Mahabharata, Harivamsha and Puranas, because Krishna belonged to this lineage. So Yadavas, Yaduvamsha became famous because Krishna was part of that Vamsha. So King Yayati cursed Yadu because he refused to exchange his youth with his father. As a result, the royal throne eventually passed to Puru, ancestors of Kuru dynasty. That is understanding. But Yadu's descendants became an independent and powerful dynasty known as Yadavas. So I'll give you a little more understanding here. Now you can see, you'll get more understanding. Yayati, Yadu, Satvata, and from Satvata comes Vrishni, Andaka, and Bhoja. And from Satvata, Vrishni, Vasudeva, Krishna, Balarama. So this is Yadu Vamsha. And Andaka from Yadu. See, in this I told you Yadu, from Yadu, see, from here it is continuing. Okay, this image I'll put it upper. Okay. See, this is, yeah, is it clear now? See, from Yayati comes Yadu, Turvasu, Puru. Now I'm just expanding Yadu dynasty. So from Yadu comes Satvata, and from Satvata comes Vrishni, Andaka, and Bhoja. And from Vrishni comes Vasudeva, Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra, that side. And Andaka, Ugrasena, Kamsa. Now see, Kamsa is also uncle's son only. Krishna's uncle, like one of the uncle. And Bhoja, Kritavarma, they also are Bhoja, Kunti Bhoja, what we am calling. That's why I'm explaining all these things. If I just say Bhoja, Kunti Bhoja, you may not understand. If you know this, then the entire understanding becomes very clear. Hope it's clear now. So why were Yadavas on both the sides of war? Another interesting aspect of the Mahabharata. Although they belong to the same dynasty, Pandava side, there was Krishna as Arjuna's, and Satyaki and Chekitana. So Satyaki and Chekitana comes from Yadu dynasty. So that's why they joined Yadavas or Pandavas side. And Kauravas side, Kritavarma and the Narayani Sena. Okay, for your understanding, I'll put it here. Otherwise, it may help you to understand better. See, Pandavas side, Krishna, Yadavas, Yadava, and Chekitana was also Yadava. Then Kaurava side, Kritavarma, who was also Yadava, he joined Kaurava side, and the entire Narayani Sena, Krishna's army, also was offered towards Kauravas. Thus, the Yadava clan itself was politically divided in this way. So, unlike the Kurus, Yadavas were organized as a small related clans. Their principal cities they ruled was Mathura and Dwaraka. So these are the two prominent places Yadava took care or ruled. They had multiple rulers, and Krishna himself was a leading statesman and strategist, but he did not crown himself as the emperor of the Yadavas. And now what happened to Yadava dynasty? After the Kurukshetra war, the Yadavas were destroyed in the Mausala Parva due to the internal conflict, fulfilling a curse. And nearly the entire clan perished. And after Krishna departed from the world, Arjuna escorted the surviving women and children from that dynasty. Okay, this is about Yadavas. Now I am coming back to Purujit Kunti Bhojascha. Hope now you are able to connect it properly. So Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. So here these three people, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibhya, now you are able to understand. So later on, Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta, Uttamojascha Vidyavan are mentioned. So here Uttamojascha, Purujit and Kunti Bhojascha were mostly, Purujit and Kunti Bhoja, they were brothers. And Yudamanyu and Uttamaujas, they were also biological sons. They were also brothers. So their names are mentioned here. Kunti Bhoja means the king of Kunti kingdom. So why is he mentioned? Because he came and aligned himself with the Pandavas. So his brother Purujit and Kunti Bhoja were both from the Kunti kingdom only. These two, being kings of Kunti kingdom, joined the battle. Purujit and Kunti Bhoja. Originally, Kunti belonged to the Yadava lineage. So originally, Kunti also belonged to the Yadava lineage. She was the biological younger sister of Vasudeva. And Vasudeva's father Shurasena had 10 sons and 5 daughters. So sons we are not taking the count. So the eldest son was Vasudeva. Among 5 daughters, the eldest was Kunti. Her original name is Pruta. So the younger sisters were Pruta, Pritushrava, Pritideva, Pritukirti, and Rajadi Devi. So this makes the 5 daughters. Among these 5, the eldest was Pruta. Because the king of Kunti kingdom adopted her, she became known as Kunti. So Kunti Raja adopted Kunti, so she became Kunti from that time. Pruta. Earlier she was actually, her name is Pruta. Due to adoption, Kunti Bhoja and Purujit had no biological relationship with the Pandavas. Yet they thought Kunti's children, and out of compassion they joined their side. That was the point. Then comes Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Shaibhya, the foremost among men. Again, Shaibhya was the king of Shibi kingdom, Shibi Rajya. So here also a very strange incident took place. So in reality, the king of Shibi had a son who was a friend of Jayadratha. So while traveling through different regions, the son of Shibi helped Jayadratha kidnap Draupadi. Again, all of these Kshatriyas get into some or the other problem connected to women only. So the Pandavas, they were living in the forest at that time. Jayadratha was on his way to Swayamvara, but they saw Draupadi, and Jayadratha and Shaibhya. They conversed and they thought, let us kidnap Draupadi here. So what they tried to kidnap at that time, Draupadi called out, she cried out. Then Yudhishthira, Bhima, Pandavas, they came, and Bhimsena killed the son of Shaibhya, that is Shibi. Now, even though Bhimasena killed Shaibhya's son, the father Shaibhya still did not side with Kauravas, he sided with Pandavas. Again, why Duryodhana is using the name Shaibhya? Now, Bhima killed Shaibhya's son. Now, when Bhima kills Shaibhya's son, Shaibhya should become the enemy of Bhima. When Shaibhya becomes enemy of Bhima, he should join the army of Duryodhana, because Duryodhana is the enemy of Bhima. Right? But he sided the Pandavas. Isn't that a twist? It's quite complicated, right? When Bhimasena killed Jarasandha, Jarasanda's son Sahadeva did not hesitate to join the Pandavas. Jarasandha's son Sahadeva joined Pandavas. Now Shibi's son, Shaibhya's son was killed by Pandavas, but Shaibhya again joined Pandavas. So that's how things are happening. That's how things happened. Just because a son committed a crime or a father committed a crime, it is not that mandatory that they should join the opposite party who are not righteous. So this highlights Duryodhana's mental agony. There is beautiful psychology behind every single name mentioned here. That is the point here. Dushtaketu Shakitanaha, Kashirajasya Viryavan, Purujit Kunti Bhojasya, Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. And the next verse, Yudamanyuscha Vikranta, Uttamojascha Viryavan, Saubhadro Draupadeyascha, Sarva Eva Maharataha. Maharataha. Yeah. One Prabhuji, one Mataji, please.
युद्धमान्युश्च विक्रान्ता उत्तमौजश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयश्च सर्व इव महारथः.
Others who have not read. recited earlier.
युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्ता उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथा.
Translation, bro.
There are the mighty Yudamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Yes. So I explained Uttama, Yudamanyu, Vikranta, all these words. So now, it is quite intimidating that it is for Duryodhana that two warriors from the same household are standing against him. So this poor guy is terrified. The choice of names and numbers in these verses is also a pure psychology. Here again, it is depicting Duryodhana's personality magnificently. So here Yudamanyu and Uttamaojas are both Drupada's sons. Both are described as Vikrantaha. So as I explained, Vikranta means Vikrama, who knows how to penetrate the army very systematically, very nicely. So Yudamanusha Vikranta, Uttamaodasya Viryaman. Now he is explaining Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarvaeva Maharataha. He says, look, now it's not just them, even the sons who are practically minors and haven't fully come to any and proper age. Now Saubhadra means is the son of Subhadra, who was Abhimanyu. And Draupadeyascha means refers to 5 sons of Draupadi. Now, this is another interesting aspect here. Look at how many are coming, the terrifying 5 sons of Draupadi and Saubhadra, son of Drupada, Abhimanyu. So that's the 6 people he is mentioning. So meanwhile, Duryodhana, when he speaks about his side, he barely counted the names of his own side. So he talks as if his own men are just there to eat rather than fight. Because he is not at all glorifying people in the names what he takes his side. Another big psychologist there will come to that. So here, when he is saying this Pandavas, when he is saying Pandavas side, he is glorifying everyone. He is glorifying even these small kids. This Abhimanyu and the children of Draupadi, they were all small kids. Why they are small kids? So here, so these kids, one is Abhimanyu and another is 5. So now I'll just put their names. So from Dharmaraya, Draupadi begot Prativindya, and Bhimasena's son is Shutasoma, Arjuna's son is Shutakirti, and Nakula's son is Shatanika, and Sahadeva's son is Shutakarma. So these 5 children, what are their age, So the Mahabharata explains, so the Bhima's Yudhishthira's son was around 15 to 18 years. Even if you take the highest, the maximum age is 18 years. And 1 year younger was Bhima's son, 17 years. And Subhadra's son, Abhimanyu, 16 years. The one after him was around 14 years and 15 years. And finally, Nakula and Sahadeva's son were 13 years and 14 years. They are all in teenage. So these teens, yeah, they want to fight, they have learned the art, but what is Duryodhana saying? What adjective is using for these teens? He is saying Sarvaeva Maharataha. See here what he is saying? Again, you can understand what is happening in his mind internally. Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarvaeva Maharataha. All of them are Maharathas equal to Bhima and Arjuna. And unfortunately, he doesn't even name his own men anymore. So it is saying what state of mind this Duryodhana is in. So that's how we say that this Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful text of psychology. It's a book of psychology, actually. Next, actually, after this first half of the verses, in the second half of the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, you see the psychology of Arjuna. And once you understand the psychology of Arjuna, then comes the psychotherapist, who is a Krishna. And Krishna comes and solves, gives a therapy to Arjuna, that we will see in the later verses. So here, that is what is happening. Sarva eva Maharatha. So we'll quickly go to the next verse. Asmakam tu vishishtaye tanibodad vijottama nayakah mama sainyasya samgyartam tan bravimite.
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तानि बोधद्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य ज्ञातुं तान् ब्रवीमि ते
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तानि बोधद्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य सम्यार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
Translation. O best of the Brahmanas, for your information, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. So now, I don't know whether to call it as a comedy or Duryodhana's tension, anxiety, very, very interesting. So now more interesting the shloka becomes. There is no purport, but you'll understand a lot of things are there here. He's saying, now he explained the Pandavas army. They are all Maharathas, Vikranta, Shauryavan, Viryavan, Vikranta, Narapungavaha, Maharataha. Now he is saying, now Asmakam tu Vishishtaye. Oh, best of the Brahmanas, for your information, let me tell you about the captains who are especially Vishishtaye, qualified to lead my military force. So now he says, oh, Duryodhana says, listen to who the distinguished warriors on our side, Dvijottama. So now he's saying, Asmakam Vishtoe Tani Bodha Dvijottama. He is addressing Drona as Dvijottama. What is Dvijottama? Dvijottama is a combination, compound word of 3 words. 3 words. You said only 2 words.
Dvija means Brahman.
Huh? It is Dvijottama means Dvi, Ja, Uttama.
Okay.
Dvi means 2. Ja means birth. Uttama means best. So now Dvija. Dvija is a compound word. Now we need to understand what is Dvija. Dvijottama. Dvija means twice born. Who is called twice born? All of you know, right?
Brahmana.
A Brahmana is called. So Brahmana is called a twice born. Janmana jayate Shudraha. Veda patat bhavet Vipraha. Samskarat bhavet Dvijaha. Brahma janati iti Brahmanaha. So samskara, or I'll tell you all of us, we have 2 important days in our life. Who would like to say? What are those 2 important days in our life?
Birthday and birthday day and death day.
Happy death day to you. We can't wish that. So there are 2 important days in our life. That is the day when we are born. Please hear carefully. The first thing is the day when we are born, and the second is the day when we understand why we are born. So here, Dvija, twice born means one is biological birth. All animals also take biological birth. We are like very, very much equal to animals. If we compare only the birth, first birth, which is biological birth. The real birth should happen, that is the birth of jnana, the birth of knowledge, the birth of wisdom. So when that birth of, that is what a Dvija means, through the samskara, he gets initiated in the study of scriptures. So one of the very important reasons for Upanayana samskara is to initiate the child into the study of the Vedic scriptures. That means he gets that jnana. So that is the day, that is the second birth. All of us should be born twice. So that is why now he is addressing Drona as Dvija, not only Dvija, Uttama Dvija, Dvijottama, Uttama Dvija. You are the best among the twice born. So, Asmakam tu Vishishtaye Tan Niboja Dvijottama Nayakaha Mama Sainyasya. And in our Sena, we have great Vishishta leaders. It is when you, after this verse, when you understand the next verse, you will understand why Duryodhana is saying Vishishta, Vishesha. It is complete sarcasm. It is complete negative connotation. That you will understand in the next verse. So he is saying, oh, best of the Brahmanas. Now let me explain you our captains who are especially qualified. Especially qualified. What special qualification they have got? I will explain. Please hear, oh Dronacharya, oh Dvijottama. Please hear what I am going to say. Now he says, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitim Jayaha Ashwattama Vikarnascha Saumadattis Tataivacha. So what is he saying here? Now Duryodhana listed 11 leaders on the Pandavas and 7 from the Kauravas, totaling again 18. Now, interestingly, among 18 people, Bhima and Arjuna are not included. Have you noticed that? Among the 18 people, what he took the names, Arjuna and Bhima's names are not there. I don't know how many of you noticed that. Only says Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi. These leaders are equal to Bhima Arjuna, but he has not taken and mentioned any names of Bhima and Arjuna also directly in that leaders list. So now he is saying on our side, we have great leaders who are actually the exploiters of the entire war. Internally, that is what the meaning is. We will understand that. First thing, who is the first person is saying? Bhavan. You are there firstly. So you yourself are there, right? For such a great king, Bhavan, and the second one is Bhishma. So here, such a strategy is using. So in the purport, you can read Prabhupada saying, somebody can read the purport?
Duryodhana mentioned the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Ashwatthama is the son of Dronacharya, and Somadatti or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of the Palikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Krupacharya married the twin sister of Dronacharya.
Yes. Is it okay if I stretch 10 more minutes? All of you? Okay, because I want to complete till 9 slokas. But something very important is also there. So another 10, maximum 15 minutes, I'll try to finish. So here, he named 7 people. Actually, there were 11 Akshauhini Senas. There were so many people who had come. But why is he mentioning only these 7 people? And just before this verse, he is saying, I am going to tell you something very special, people. And why? Now we will understand that. So these 7 names have a seven special reasons also. So now in these 7 names, Bhavan, Bhishmascha, Karnascha, Kripascha, Samitinjayaha, Ashwatthama Vikarnascha Saumadatis Sataivacha. In these 7 leaders, 3 names are the names of Brahmanas. Bhavan, Drona is a Brahmana, Kripa is a Brahmana, and Ashwatthama is a Brahmana. What these Brahmanas will fight? So another big psychology is going to come now. So among these 3 Brahmanas, there are 3 Brahmanas on our side. That is Drona, Kripa, and Ashwatthama. And who are you? You are brother-in-law of Kripacharya. So Drona is a brother-in-law of Kripacharya. And who is Ashwatthama? Ashwatthama is your son. So he says, isn't it enough to name these 3? So why? Because you belong to our group, age group. You are our gurus. So all 3 of you were gurus of us and also Pandavas, right? You are our gurus, and moreover you are all Brahmanas. So he is trying to say that his concept was that these Brahmanas are actually speaking, they don't have much interest in the war. Brahmanas means they do Sandhya Vandanam 3 times very nicely. They read the scriptures, and they have come here for what purpose? For job. And heart of heart, a Brahmana is not interested in blood. In fact, even Yudhishthir was a Kshatriya, but he was a Sattvic nature he had. So Yudhishthir was also not interested in blood. Yudhishthir, somehow he wanted to close. Somehow he didn't want this war to happen. And if Yudhishthira, Kshatriya with little Sattvic nature, didn't want to see blood, and you people are 3 Brahmanas, what war you will come and do? Okay, moreover, even if you are interested, heart of heart, even Pandavas are your students only. There is a strong positive connection to the connection. So now these details we need to understand. So now look at Ashwatthama. Who is Ashwatthama? He was a massive, fierce warrior, but a highly erratic and volatile fellow. He was an erratic, eccentric fellow. If you have read or heard about Ashwatthama, you understand he is erratic. So can anyone place their trust in him? Do you think I can trust my faith in Ashwatthama? Oh my God. Why? Because until the very end, Ashwatthama never properly, he was properly not available for the war itself. He was highly erratic. He just came and fought randomly. No system. He was not a Vikranta. No Vikrama. He was not systematic. Just randomly, suddenly he gets some inspiration, comes, fights, and he goes back. So, so this erratic person, I cannot believe him or I cannot trust him. Suddenly he wants to do something, suddenly he doesn't want to do. And there are so many stories. I don't want to get into detail of those stories. So there are so many stories which actually proves that Ashwatthama was not he was a very massive, very good archer, but was not very stable person. And do you want me to put trust on him? And he is a leader in my army. That is what he is trying to say. Then there is another person, Dronacharya, his father, Ashwatthama's father. So if this Ashwatthama, Drona, and they sit for study of Vedas, hours together they study. And how we are supposed to fight a war by holding on to such people, these 3 Brahmanas. You and your brother-in-law Kripacharya, he is also a Brahmana. So out of 7, 3 are gone, right? So 3 are gone because these 3 Brahmanas. So he named only 4 Kshatriyas and 3 were gone. 3 Brahmanas. So now this Kripacharya's sister's son is Ashwatthama. So these 3 Brahmanas have just come for salaries. They have not come for actual fight. They cannot fight from their heart. So this is the thought which is present in the mind of Duryodhana. So then he says, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitim Ja Ashwatam. So the second person is Bhishma. Now again another strategy what as I said in earlier, Duryodhana is again saying Bhavan. He is not even taking the Bhishma as the first name. First is that saying that you. So he says he wants to give priority for Brahmana, then Kshatriya. So the second person is Kshatriya. There was suspicion regarding Bhishmacharya, which is why he came to talk to Dronacharya, which I mentioned earlier. So he is very suspicious that the great grandfather secretly supports the Pandavas from within. And in reality, it is true also. Bhishma, heart of heart, he wants to support Pandavas only. So now there is another interesting incident which took place. What is that? Before the war began, before all these things began, when all of them, they just came together, the armies were stationed on both the sides and Yudhishthir raises his hands. He raises his hands and he goes to Bhishma. And when he goes to Bhishma, when he's walking towards Bhishma, Kauravas, led by Duryodhana, he feels very happy. Oh, this Yudhishthira is first of all a sattvic person, and if he raising his hand and surrendering, that means no fight. Without fight, we are going to get the entire property, Hastinapur. So they were very happy. So Kauravas were very happy, and Pandavas, other brothers, they were distressed. Arey, why this man is going now? This elder brother always creates this kind of problems. At the last moment, he goes and does something, and he comes back. Now we can't fight also, and they were in tension. So then what? Yudhishthira does something amazing. He goes to Bhishma and he offers obeisances to Bhishma, and he says, "Oh Bhishmacharya, I never wanted to fight. We never wanted to fight. But it is you people who instigated, and whatever Duryodhana said, you said yes, and you are also one of the cause for this battle. Now, because of all these things, I have come here. Now, why I have come to you is, please bless me. I need your blessings before I fight." And he offers obeisances. Now, what should be happening in the heart of Bhishma? Whether Bhishma should cry or laugh or what he should do? He is seeking blessing against, right? Bhishma is fighting against Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira is going to Bhishma and seeking blessing. Now, Bhishma says very nicely, he says, "My child," he says, "Artasya purusho daso, dasastu arthona kasyachit, iti satyam maharaja, baddosmi artena kauravaihi." He opens up his heart. So he's saying, meaning, Artasya Purusho Daso. A man is a servant of wealth. Dasastu Arthona Kasyachit. Wealth is the servant of no one. A man is a servant of wealth. Wealth is not the servant of anyone. This is the truth. O king, I am bound. Iti Satyam Maharaja. He is already addressing Yudhishthira as Maharaja. Already blessing. Iti Satyam Maharaja, Baddosmi Artena Kauravaihi. O king, I am bound by my obligations to Kauravas. That is why I am here. But I will bless you, Vijayi Baba. He blesses him. And Bhishma also says, "Oh Yudhishthir, I was thinking these Pandavas are fighting against me. I had some ill feeling against you people. But it is very good that you came to me and offered obeisances and taking blessing. Now I know the kids whom I have raised in my arms, they are there. It is not that they are happy to fight against me. Now you coming here proved that you like me. You want blessings from me. I am so happy. Now I bless you, Vijayi Baba." He blesses. So now now whatever is going to happen, I had one small tinge of negativity against you people. Now you cleared that also. Thank you so much. Now things are very clear. So this move of Yudhishthir was an amazing move. It was an amazing move what he did actually. So Bhishmacharya already blessed this. All of Duryodhana, everybody are seeing it right in front of their eyes. Now after that, this incident, Bhagavad Gita started. So now Duryodhana is saying, you are there, you are a Brahmana, heart of heart, you are not interested to fight. Now again, another interesting fighter, Bhishma is there, who has already blessed Pandavas that you people should win. Now on what basis I can count on Bhishma? Do you think Bhishma is going to fight from his heart? Not at all. Now comes another person, Bhavan Bhishmascha, Karnascha. And look what happened to Karna. Karnascha, how strange it is. Karna, what history lies behind Karna, all of us we know. And it is only Karna on whom Duryodhana had complete 100% trust. He did not have any trust on anybody. He had complete trust on Karna. But what happened to Karna? You know, before the Kurukshetra war, they formed the entire army, and they made who should become the chief commander in chief. And Karna was very sure that Duryodhana is going to make Karna as the chief commander in chief. But what happened? Everybody said it is Bhishma. Why? Because age, skills, talent, and track record. And on all the criteria, Bhishma stands out. So now Bhishmacharya should become the commander in chief. And Karna thought it's okay, what to do? So finally Bhishma was made the commander in chief. So after Bhishma made commander in chief, Bhishma called for a meeting. So in the meeting, he started identifying everybody. He took everyone's name and he started glorifying that you are a Maharatha, you are a this Ratha, all those things. So, and the meeting was over. And he didn't take Karna's name. And Karna got bewildered. Then Karna thought this Bhishma is an old man. And whenever people get old, they tend to forget. So then he thought, I'll remind Bhishma. So he says, oh, Bhishmacharya, Pitamaha, I have to say something. You know what? You actually forgot my name to mention. So just add my name also. Then Bhishma looks at Karna and says, no, I didn't forget your name. I don't consider you as Rathi only. You are not qualified to be a very good Rathi. So then Karna says, what are you saying? Why are you saying? Whenever you say something, give me logic, give me the proof. Then Bhishma says, I know you studied under my guru, that is Parashuram. You learned from Parashuram and later you did some mistake, and for that Parashurama cursed you. What did he curse? At the right moment, you will forget the mantras to invoke the arrows. Now, with this curse, how can you fight any big army, any big war? So this very clearly says you can't even be a very good Rathi. Forget about Maharathi. Maharathi means who can fight 10,000 fighters. So you can't even, you are not even calculated as a Rathi. So this was a great blunder. So this humiliated thoroughly Karna, and Karna stood up and he said, Karna said, if this is what you are doing, and he was humiliated and said, as long as Bhishma is there in the war, as long as Bhishma is alive, I will not even come to the war, I will not fight. So everyone are acting on the platform of their ego. Can you imagine what is happening to Duryodhana? And Duryodhana is mentioning these names. Now you understand what is the psychology. What was the shloka? He said, Asmakam tu Vishishta. What Vishishta? What so special warriors? These are the warriors. Drona, Bhavan, waste. Bhishma, waste. Karna, waste. So there are no adjectives for people in his side. So The only person I trusted completely is Karna. And what is Karna? What is happening to Karna? Karna is not even interested to fight. अरे बाप रे, क्या हाल हो गया मेरा. So then Kripascha, as everyone knows, another expert in the Vedas. He's also he knows lot of knowledge. He has lot of knowledge, but he has taught us a lot of archery lessons. But how much he has fought? Not much. He is a Brahmana again. So I can't count Kripacharya also. Now he says another interesting name. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripasya Samitinjayaha Ashwattama. We discussed. Then Vikarna. Who is Vikarna? Vikarna is one of the brother of Duryodhana. So why he is taking Vikarna's name? So he is not taking any powerful people's name. He is taking Vikarna's name because Vikarna, when Draupadi's that what happened? Draupadi's that sari incident.
Vastrapaharana.
Vastrabharana.
Vastraparana was done when they wanted to humiliate Draupadi, wanted to strip her naked. At that time, Bhishma Drona didn't speak, but it was Vikarna who stood for. He said, she's our Attige. What do you call? It is like our brother's wife. So it is adharma. He stood for dharma. It was only Vikarna who stood for dharma, and he was the third son of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. After Duryodhana and Dushasana, Vikarna was born, and Vikarna is famous for he stood up for Draupadi in the Kuru assembly when everybody did not support her. So after Yudhishthira lost everything in the game of dice, Draupadi was dragged into the assembly by Dushasana when everyone remained silent, including Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya. Vikarna alone spoke against the injustice, and he gave very good arguments why Draupadi doesn't belong to the Kauravas after that. And Karna responded, "It's okay. It is okay. Draupadi belongs to us. We can strip her naked." It was Karna who gave this idea. So, but why did Karna still fight for the Kauravas? This is another. This is one of the tragic aspects of his character. Again, Vikarna also behaved like Bhishma and Drona. How without complete consent, their body is fighting for Duryodhana, their heart is supporting Pandavas. That is what is happening. So Vikarna also I can't count. Ashwattama Vikarnascha Somadattis Tataivacha. Now, who is Somadatti? Somadatti is also known as Bhurishrava. So he is son of Somadatta, grandson of Bahalika. That is what Prabhupada also mentions here. A senior Kuru warrior, one of the distinguished Maharathas fighting for the Kauravas. So this is another clan. Bhishma and Bhurishrava were from related branches of Kuru family. So what is that? Shantanu, first class you remember? Shantanu story. So from Shantanu came Bhishma, one clan. Another clan is Bahalika, another son Bahalika, and Bahalika's son is Somadatta. And Somadatta's son is Bhurishrava. Somadatta's son is Somadatti or Bhurishrava. So Somadatti, Bhishma becomes Somadatti's like great grand uncle. So why does he say Samitinjaya? Those who conquer in battle. These people are not special. If you ask how to win a war by holding on to Brahmanas and these kind of people. Can you imagine this this entire verse is not at all a positive verse. He is completely negative. You got the point here. So he is mentioning all these names whom he can't even count. But you see what kind of names he took in Pandava's side. All powerful warriors. But here he is not even using any adjectives. So by this we can clearly understand psychologically Duryodhana is very clear that in no way we are not going to win this war. Psychologically he has prepared his mind. Subconsciously speaking all these words. Subconsciously is very clear that Pandavas are going to win. And all these things are happening. Why? Because he just saw that Anika and Chamu, small part of the Akshayani Sena. So we'll just go, last verse for today, 9th verse. Anyecha bahavaha shuraha madarte tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. As far as the purport, translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Purport, as far as the others are concerned, like Jayadrita, Kritavarma, Shalya, etc., all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra. Can you connect that negativity to this verse now? All of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above mentioned combined strength of his friends. So, this is what is happening. All these great heroes, they are ready to give up their lives, or they have come to give their lives for me. Anyecha bahava shuraha mad arte tyakta jivitaha. To give up, they have come here to give up their lives. They are well equipped with all of their weapons. But what is the use? Anyecha bahava shura, but what is the use? Duryodhana's intention in the heart. He's saying, what is happening here? They are all bahava shuras, very powerful shuras. But what is the use? They have all come here to give up their lives. Jivitaha. Nana shastra praharanaha. All shastras, they are powerful. They know everything. But they sarve yuddha visharadaha. They are visharada also. But what is the use? They have come here to give up their lives. So much negativity has already encroached Duryodhana's mind. Now Duryodhana, you are able to understand what is happening here. Duryodhana's psychology is completely, just by looking at the wonderful arrangement of this battle in the battlefield. That is Drishtadyumna's arrangement. Just by seeing that, Duryodhana is completely taken aback, and with that heavy heart, with a lot of anxiety, he is speaking all these things. Now, what happens next? We will see from the next class. Some more details and a lot of psychology about Duryodhana. And after a few verses, Arjuna starts speaking, and that is another next level of psychology. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Those who have already got late, you can leave. If somebody has any comments, questions, tika, tippani, you can feel free to give that.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhuji, mind-blowing explanation you have given about all the characters.
No, mind-blowing is what actually Duryodhana is speaking.
Yeah,
Only thing is we need
actually,
to go a little.
So why Duryodhana is fearful that today only he came to know properly.
Yes.
So because behind this the character, no, so many stories and histories he have mentioned. So that clarifies everything.
Yes. That is why I mentioned.
Yeah, it was very much necessary, Prabhuji.
Yeah, otherwise just reading that they are powerful, he is powerful, Yudhana, Virata, everything doesn't make any sense. But when we understand this way, we'll know the value of Bhagavad Gita. We will know the value of every shloka, every word also.
Yes, Prabhu. Correct.
Just because we are feeling I'm visualize Kali in the mind and with the feelings while this today's session. And the Duryodhana is realizing itself, I will lose this war like that.
You're able to see Duryodhana in the war.
Yes,
Oh,
Prabhuji.
very nice. Very nice.
Duryodhana seeing I will lose this war because of this scenario. What you have seen.
Jai, jai. Anybody
Hare
else?
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
That's one thing. Like, thank you very much for the amazing class. And it was like really nice to like hear it from the like psychological perspective. So I first time heard about the
No,
like
it is not
getting into the.
psychological perspective. The Bhagavad Gita, it is actually this is actually the flow. If you
Mhm.
understand, this is actually the flow. Yes, but we might have not heard in this way. Correct. Yes,
Yes, for the
go
first
continue.
time we heard. Prabhuji, like on these lines only, can we understand a little bit about Bhishma Dev's psychology as well? Because as we hear that Bhishma Dev was obliged to Kurus, but
Hmm.
did he not consider Pandavas the Kurus and he was stuck with Dhritarashtra and supported Kauravas? What was going to his mind? Because he was a caretaker of the Hastinapur uh, uh,
Yeah,
as
Prabhu,
a.
you are asking about Mahabharat. Our session is not Mahabharat. Ours is Bhagavad Gita. So whatever is connected to our words, whatever is required for us to understand the shloka proper, I'm trying to quote that, bringing that from the Mahabharat. Otherwise, if you want to know more about Bhishma, one of my favorite characters in Mahabharat, Bhishma and Yudhishthir, and even Vidura. I love these three characters. Somehow there is a strong feeling, positive feelings for them. That we can have some Mahabharat session for that. But
Sure,
for
Prabhuji.
yeah,
Once
in
we have
this
some time, we'll
yeah
do.
yeah yeah yeah. So in these sessions, let us focus on the Bhagavad Gita to decode every word, every sentence, what Krishna is speaking, what our acharyas are giving. That is the purpose. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you
Yes, Doctor
for
Anirudh.
wonderful. Yeah. Prabhuji, like when I had read first, I had was understanding. My understanding was that Duryodhana is confident because he has Dronacharya, okay, who is the guru of everyone. So he's
Correct.
the greatest fighter,
Correct.
and so he can kill everyone. So that I thought, and Bhishma, he is having Ajivan, like Ichha Mrityu. So then he should be very confident, like that I had thought. And Karna is considered greatest fighter, like there's compared with Arjuna, that he's sometimes some they tell that he's even better than Arjuna in fighting. So like that, not but this understanding I had.
Yeah, that's what if you just read that, we may understand like that. But if you know this, that is why we need the help of acharyas. That is why when we read acharyas commentaries, they actually give this special meaning and the right understanding for that. Correct, no? So when you understand the history, just imagine why he has to mention only these names then. So if it is only positive, where is the logic for the positivity here? Why is not using any one single adjective for Kaurava's army when he mentions the names, and Pandava so many things. See, this is even Duryodhana unconsciously speaking like this. It was not it was subconsciously these words are coming. He's choosing, the choice of words are like that. Make sense? Further, few more slokas, if you understand, you'll get the connection. Now only 9 slokas you have heard. Further slokas, you'll get more clarity. Yes. Anybody else wants to say something? Okay. Nothing is there. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We'll meet next week, if Krishna willing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.